जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे नयन पथगामी भवतु मे। जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी। तुमे निरंजन अखिल मोहन, हे प्रभु सारंग पाणी। तुमे निरंजन अखिल मोहन, हे प्रभु सारंग पाणी। तुमे निरंजन सत्य सनातन, तुमे हे अंतरजामी। जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी। तुमे ब्रह्मा विष्णु, तुमे महेश्वरा, तुमे दैतारी गति अगतिर। तुमे ब्रह्मा विष्णु, तुमे महेश्वरा, तुमे दैतारी गति अगतिर। तुमे सर्वव्यापी, तुमे निराकार। तुमे सर्वव्यापी, तुमे निराकार। तुमे मो जीवन स्वामी। जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी। तुमे नारायण, तुमे परम ब्रह्म, तुमे सुदर्शन श्री मधुसूदन। तुमे नारायण, तुमे परम ब्रह्म, तुमे सुदर्शन श्री मधुसूदन। आहे घन श्याम, घेन मो प्रणाम। आहे घन श्याम, घेन मो प्रणाम। नमो नमो अंतर्जामी। जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी। तुमे निरंजन अखिल मोहन, हे प्रभु सारंग पाणी। तुमे निरंजन अखिल मोहन, हे प्रभु सारंग पाणी। तुमे चिरंतन सत्य सनातन, तुमे हे अंतरजामी। जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी। Namaste Prabhu Jagannatha. Namaste Prabhu Jagannatha. Anatha Lokankara Natha. Namaste Prabhu Vasudeva Bhakata Jananka Bandhava. Namaste Prabhu Jagannatha. Anatha Lokankara Natha. Namaste Prabhu Vasudeva Bhakata Jananka Bandhava. Namaste Prabhu Jagannatha. Tu Brahma Rudra Vishnu tu hi Tu Brahma Rudra Vishnu tu hi to binu anya gati nahi tu hi bhi agni deva indra tu hi bhi agni deva indra nayana jata Suja Chandra. Namaste Prabhu Vasudeva Bhakata Jananka Bandhava. Namaste Prabhu Jagannatha. Anatha Lokankara Natha. Namaste Prabhu Vasudeva Bhakata Jananka Bandhava. Namaste Prabhu Jagannatha. अशेषा तुम्हारा महिमा अशेष तुम्हारा महिमा के जानी पारे तुम सीमा दुष्ट निवारी संत पालु दुष्ट निवारी संत पालु तू नाथ परम दयालु नमस्ते प्रभु वासुदेव भक्त जनक बन्धव नमस्ते प्रभु जगन्नाथ अनाथ लोकंकर नाथ नमस्ते प्रभु वासुदेव भक्त जनक बन्धव नमस्ते प्रभु जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ।
Manoj, you have to unmute.
Oh, sorry. We are waiting for Swamiji to arrive, so we may sing one more bhajan.
I'm
Prasad.
already
Swamiji already there.
Oh.
Manoj,
हाँ
Swamiji ଆସିଲେଣି, ଆମେ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିବା।
अच्छा ठीक ଅଛି ମତେ କାଇଁ ଦେଖ ସରି ମୋର ଭୁଲ ତେବେ ଆପଣ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରନ୍ତୁ ଜ୍ଞାନ ବାବୁ।
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। स्वामीजी की प्रणाम करुछि। आमर सबु गुरुजन भाई भौणी एवं सांग मानक मध्य प्रणाम। आज आमे माने बहुत खुशी आउ बहुत कृतज्ञ जे आम भितरे स्वामी पूज्य स्वामी शरणानंद जी अछंती। स्वामी जी होचंती चिन्मय मिशन शिकागोर
Swami.
सन्यासी। आजिर आमे जो रखिचु सत्संग जो टॉपिक रखिचु, टॉपिक ना होची सिंपल एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ अ कॉम्प्लेक्स वेदांतिक टीचिंग। जिनसटा को लागे जे बहुत प्रकृत रे जे ताकू ठीक रे हृदंगम करिछि ताकू जिनसटा अति सहज, किंतु जति साधारण लोक विषय केतक मन रे हम भावना जे वेदांत कहले समथिंग जोटा कि हमें जेतबेल को परिणत बस रे पहुंचीबा सेही समय वेदांत चर्चा करिबा, सेटा होची एक भूल धारणा। किंतु एई विषय स्वामीजी के विषय किछि कहबी। 1993-94 मसियारू स्वामीजी चिकागो रे अवस्थापित चिन्मय मिशन। चिकागो रे 4टी सेंटर रही, चिकागो बद्री सेंटर, चिकागो यमुनोत्री सेंटर, डाउनटाउन सेंटर एवं इंडियाना। स्वामीजी एई सब जिनस तत्वावधान करंती आमर सब मिशन एक्टिविटीज। जेते बेले समय मिलिले मध्य आमर सैटेलाइट सेंटर रही पियोरिया, आयोवा सिटी, मिलवाकी, कोलंबस, मिनियापोलिस। स्वामीजी मध्य मझिरे मझिरे सब सेंटर को जानती। मुख्य काम हैला जे आमे केमिति वेदांत प्रचार करिबा, लोक मानक मन रे भगवत गीतार विषय नॉलेज आसीबो एवं आम मानकर उपनिषद विषय जानिबा। यही सब जिनसटा को केतक लोक भावंती जे संस्कृत लिखा है भारी डिफिकल्ट। आउ स्वामीजी साहाय्य करंती यही से जिनसटा को केमति सिंपल रे एक्सप्लेन करिया पे फले साधारण लोक बुझी पारिबे। चिन्मय मिशन न दुईटी बड़ काम रहउची, गोटी होउची बालविहार आ गोटे होउची एडल्ट स्टडी ग्रुप। एई बालविहार पिला मानकू एई बालविहार अटेंड करंती प्रथम श्रेणी रु 11th 12th ग्रेड। आउ एमानकू गप माध्यम रे एवं चैंटिंग माध्यम रे एमानकू सिखा जाए हमर वेदांतर सिंपल बेसिक कांसेप्ट। और एडल्ट स्टडी ग्रुप रे आमे माने विभिन्न प्रकार बही पढू एवं से विषय आलोचना करू, आरंभ करी किंडल लाइफ, भज गोविंदम, तत्वबोध, मनशोधनम, आत्मबोध, तापरे भगवत गीता एवं उपनिषद। फल को लेयर रे केमते आमे अच्छे फल सब जिनस को ठीक भाव रे बुझी पारिबा। एई सब जिगरे स्वामीजी बहुत साहाय्य करंती। स्वामीजी लिव्स बाय एग्जांपल। अमेरिका आसीबा पूर्व स्वामीजी अनुगुल सेंटर एवं राउरकेला सेंटर एवं कलकत्ता सेंटर रे चिन्मय मिशन रो दायित्व वहन करथिले। स्वामीजी मुंबई रे स्वामी चिन्मानंद द्वारा अनुप्राणित होई 2 वर्ष वेदांत कोर्स नहीं तापर ये जिनस रे इन्वॉल्व होइतिले। स्वामीजी बाणी बिहार रु मास्टर्स करचंती कंप्यूटर साइंस। जेते बेले समर हुए आम मान सब घर को जाऊ, स्वामीजी से समय जानती डिवाइन लाइफ सोसाइटी ऋषिकेश। से समय माने मन रे सब बेले आग्रह जे मु किए, हु एम आई, ए जो चिंताटा तांकू बर्तमान सन्यास कर। स्वामीजी आमर गुरु तेजमानंद जी सन्यास नहीं एवं ही लिव्स बाय एग्जांपल। आउ स्वामीजी विषय तो कहले अन्य किसी कहब किंतु आ बेसी समय नेबिनी। स्वामीजी वक्तव्य आरंभ करिया पूर्व आमे हमर ए जो स्पिरिचुअल टीम रो जने स्वेच्छासेवी मनोज साहू को अनुरोध करबी आज कार्यक्रम विषय टिके संक्षेप रे वर्णना करिवे एवं आल्सो गिव अस सम पॉइंटर्स अबाउट हाउसकीपिंग। एतिक कहि प्रणाम करू।
धन्यवाद धन्यवाद ज्ञान। पूज्य स्वामी जी के मोर सादर प्रणाम। क्षमा करियो स्वामी जी, मो लक्ष्य गरिपारि आपण केते जॉइन करछथि समस्त सुधीवृंद को आध्यात्मिक पाठचक्र बा सत्संग को स्वागत ज्ञान कहले आज प्रसंग है सिंपल एक्सप्लेनेशन फॉर कॉम्प्लेक्स वेदांतिक टीचिंग्स तेबे आमे सत्संग आरंभ करिया पूर्व मु खाली किछटा हाउस रूल कहि दिए मु सेटा चार्ट मध्य प्रिंट कर देछि स्वामी जी का वक्तव्य माध्यम रे कोनोसी प्रश्न न पचारिया को सविनय अनुरोध सेति पई आपण मानकर माइक्रोफोन को आम होस्ट म्यूट कर दिछंती किंतु आपण यदि वेब कैम बा वीडियो को ऑन रखिबे आमे कृतज्ञ हेबु विल बी रियली ग्रेटफुल टू यू आपनकर समस्त प्रकार प्रश्न आपण चैट विंडो रे यदि टाइप कर देबे हमर वॉलंटियर कलेक्ट करिवे आमे डिस्कोर्स रो परिशेष रे आमे स्वामी जी को आपन को प्रश्न निश्चय उपस्थापित करिवे आपन प्रश्न उत्तर पाइबे स्वामी
Hari Om. We'll do the invocation prayer. तापरे आमे आरंभ करिया ओ मनोज आपण बीएमआई चैट को रेडी के रखिथिबे
आगे
ओ सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः जगन्नाथाय ते नमः समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं हरि ओम प्रणाम टू मनोज बाबू ज्ञान बाबू आउ समस्त को प्रणाम I am not here as a speaker or as a Swami, just as one of our brother or mainly brother. Whatever I have understood from the teachings of Puja Gurudev or by Swami Tejavanji or different Swamis or different gurus of different organizations, I just want to share that nothing is my own. I will share with you. Share through a chart. And this chart is envisioned by Swami Chinmayanandaji. And it is called BMI chart. Many of you I see who attend mission classes, so you all knowing, so it is nothing new. But I will talk regarding that. Our topic is simple explanation for complex Vedantic teaching. As Jnana Babu told, that Vedanta is not really a difficult thing, but we have made ourselves so difficult, so complex, so that a simple thing appears as complex and difficult things appear as simple. We can see atom. We know what is its diameter, what are the electrons, and they are revolving, there in the atom, and what the nucleus, what is mass. All those things we know, but we do not know how to love our own spouse. We know how to walk on the moon, but we do not know how to walk on this earth. So that is like a paradox in life, which is simple has become so difficult. To love somebody, we have to go for counseling. To love our own spouse whom we are married and we are hold the hand, and then we promised in front of everybody and in front of God that I belong to you, you belong to me. But to stay with that person, to love that person, it is so difficult. It is so difficult. We have got so much, we can make ourselves sick by enjoying those things, but we cannot help a person who is really dying out of food, without food. We cannot help that person. It becomes so difficult for us. Our Guruji, Swami Tejavanand se सबले कहिबे जे बहुत लोक समाने तांकर जीवन रे डिफिकल्टी फेस करते, किंतु बहुत लोग they are difficult themselves. We have made ourselves so difficult. Everything which is very natural appears to be very complex. Vedanta is not talking regarding somebody else. It is talking regarding what is there, what is natural, which is the truth. For that, why one has to study and why the lecture is needed, it is natural. Plants and animals, tigers, they are not going for the universities, but they are living, there are thousands of years they are living in so difficult situations. We caught them forest, we just kill them, but still they are surviving. How they have also family, they take care of the family, they love their family members. It is natural. It is natural. That's why it is called nature. Nature, everything is natural. But that natural life is completely missing in us, because we have developed a very artificial life, everything we are doing. So what we are doing, that appears to be very, very difficult. Natural thing will never be difficult at all. So Vedanta is talking regarding what is the nature of this creation and how it functions so effortlessly. The sun is rising every day, and the sun is revolving around itself. All the planets are revolving, and how it is so naturally. There is nobody taking a like a machine and making that planets rotate. No, everything is natural. Here our heart and lungs, they are working on its own. We are not making the heart to function. We are not making the brain to function. It is functioning on its own, because nature is made that way. How the apple we are eating, we make pie, but who made the apple? And how the plant is taking carbohydrate, is taking sugar from the soil. And how it is making so beautiful apples, and one will not know how that apple tree is making apples. No, will not see any machine or nothing. Everything is simple in the nature. Everything is simple. Our thinking should be simple, so that we can lead a very happy life, no complex life, no complexities at all. So that we'll try to understand this. It looks like Vedantic teachings are complex. One has to go to ashram, then one has to learn from the sadhu, then one has to eat particular kind of food, then one has to know Sanskrit. No, it has nothing to do with all those things. Of course, for teaching, we have to know Sanskrit. For speaking, one should have the skills to speak, and one needs a mic. But spiritually, all these things are not needed at all. Not needed. Anybody can be spiritual in our home, in a village. Illiterate farmer can be more knowledgeable regarding spirituality than a person who is sitting in a Vedantic institute and telling himself or herself as a Swami or a great Guru. It has nothing to do with how many Upanishads one has learned how much Sanskrit one knows, how much slokas one has by hearted. It's not depending on that. Very simple. So let us go to the topic. We'll try to understand this chart. Because chart is the easier way to keep everything compartmentalized, to arrange everything in a very systematic manner. A chart is very helpful. And this chart is called BMI chart because on the top there is B, there's M and I. So as per the three different letters, this chart is called BMI chart. We will not find this chart in any scripture. It is the creation of Puja Gurudev because he was trying to understand. So he made a chart and that became very popular in the mission. But you will not find in the scripture this chart. This chart can explain certain things and it cannot explain so many other things, but it's very useful. So here is the Om. Om is a sound symbol. It is a symbol, but there are two different kinds of symbols are there. One type of symbol is called pictorial symbol, and the second type of symbols are called sound symbols. Pictorial symbols are regarding God. We have got so many pictures: Ganesh ji, Goddess Saraswati, Durga, Lakshmi, Brahma ji, Kartikeya, Lord Shiva, Lord Rama, Lord Krishna. These are called these are different symbols, but called pictorial symbols, which are called pratika. Pictorial symbols in picture form or in an idol form, all regarding God. We are talking only regarding God. So these are called pictorial forms, but there are sound symbols are also there. Sounds, Om is not a pictorial symbol, it is a sound symbol. Like when you go to washrooms in the airport, then there will be two symbols will be there. One is male, one is female. And that really does the work just like as if a living person is standing there and guiding which direction to go. Whether we'll go there or go here. That is a pictorial symbol, but that picture tells everything. It is much more than a human being. If appoint a human being there, then we cannot pay. But that picture does so much of work. It is much more than a living person. That is called the pictorial symbol of a man or a woman. But the sound symbol is one has to tell, okay, he is a man. That sound one has to pronounce to create. That is a sound symbol. Man is not a monkey. Monkey is not an apple. These are different sounds. But each sound represents some object. Living object or a living being or inert object. So there are two types of symbols. One is called a pictorial symbol. The other is called the sound symbol. Om is a sound symbol. And then there is a definition of symbol. What a symbol means. A symbol means it symbolizes something which is different from it. Suppose we will have a mango picture of a mango. So that is a pictorial symbol, but that we cannot eat that mango. That is just a picture. H2O. It is just a symbol. We cannot drink that one. But it represents something which is different from that symbol that we can use, which is called water. Then mango. What is represents that symbol that we can eat. And it has taste, it has a size, it has shape, it has got color, it has a price, it has got where it is made, where from it came. All those things are associated with that which is different from the symbol, but that symbol represents that object. So there are two types of symbols. One is a pictorial symbol, the other is a sound symbol, and Om is a sound symbol of God, of the Supreme Lord. It is not an idol. It is a pictorial, it is a sound symbol, not a pictorial symbol. Pictorial symbol, murtis, so pictorial symbol, picture, pictorial symbols. Mango आम जो कहूचे mango मध्य sound symbol. Now Om होची मध्य गोटे sound symbol. Then what is the difference between mango and Om? Om is a universal sound symbol. Universal. Universal means all sounds are included in Om. Like आपनकर सोना जितने प्रकार वस्तु अच्छी दुनिया रे Krishna, Lord Shiva, Lord Rama, Ganeshji, Allah, Jesus Christ, all the names, jahar na सब अच्छी से ना गुड़ाक सबू अच्छी ओम भितर ओम includes all the names. A pratyeka name is associated with a form. That means Om includes all names and all forms. And there are, like I mean, Om Namah Shivaya or Sri Ramaya Namaha, Sri Ganapataye Namaha. Imti no kahi Om, that is more effective because Om includes all symbols, all sounds. So that is very powerful. Om Upasana, Prana Upasana is considered as very effective. Various yoga teachers, they have told, if somebody is chanting Om every day for a few minutes, then it will bring a lot of changes even in our own brain. Because that sound symbol is very powerful. It is like Amrita Kohute, more poor Namu Note. But Kimto Beta Shiharan Kuluchi, what Ananda Lauchi. Since the Om chanting Kariva really with love and with faith, then it will also bring a lot of changes within ourselves. Om, just by chanting Om. If it is difficult for us to chant Om Sri Ganeshaya Nama, doesn't matter. Om, we don't have to spend that much of energy. So Om is a sound symbol, but it's a universal sound symbol because it includes all sounds and all objects. Because sound and object, they cannot be separated. They're all together. Mango sound, mango object, they're together. They're not different. Then Om Hochote sound symbol, which represents universal sound symbol, which represents the Supreme Lord. And Lord is always one. Always one. There is only one Lord. There is a bhajan children chant. Krishna here, Krishna there, Krishna, Krishna everywhere. God is one, God is one, God is one for everyone. There is only one God is there. And he is represented by the sound symbol called Om. If there is only one God and he is everywhere, then where is the mountain, where is the trees, where is you and me, my dad, my mom, my wife, my husband, my son, my daughter, my friend, my enemy? There are so many varieties. Then the cow, the tiger, the bird, the insects, then this coronavirus, so many varieties. How the varieties are created? Then this factor is brought. It's called Vasana. Vasana means impressions. Vasana means impressions. Manekar ame khauche laddu. Khai sala pore laddu to shesha hijibo. Gote minute pore or 30 second pore laddu shesha hoigala. Khaya kriyata seta mane shesha hoigala. Kintu hatere tara vasana ta rahibo. Hato dhui sala pore mane se vasana rahithibo. Seta hoche gote impression. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ କାମ କରୁଛେ କାମଟା ଶେଷ ହବ ତାର ଫଳଟା ଆମେ ଉପଭୋଗ କରିବା ତା ଉପଭୋଗ ପରେ ଫଳଟା ଶେଷ ହେଇଗଲା କିନ୍ତୁ ଇଟ୍ ଲିଭ୍ସ ଇମ୍ପ୍ରେସନ୍ସ ସେଟା ହଉଛି ବାସନା କିନ୍ତୁ ବାସନା ୱାର୍ଡଟା ଏଠି ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି ୟାର ଗୋଟେ ଡିପର ମିନିଂ ହଉଛି ଦ ବାସନା is created in our mind when we try to enjoy something without understanding really what it is. Like money. Money टा होचे पेपर पेपर कि मेटल किंतु हम कहूचे हमारा सब सुख सब सक्सेस everything is superimposed on that piece of paper. It is also a piece of paper. That means our understanding regarding that piece of paper is that if that paper is more with me, I'll be more happy. If it is less with me, I'll be less happy. If it is still less, then I'll be unhappy. That means all our sorrows and joys are superimposed on that piece of paper. This is called ignorance. A piece of paper cannot give happiness to us, cannot give sorrow to us. But now all the happiness and joy, our success, failure, everything is depending on that piece of paper, which you call as dollar. This is not the right understanding regarding that piece of paper. And when we are using that piece of paper with all this misunderstanding, then it leaves wrong impressions in our mind. These wrong impressions are called vasana. So not only we have got misunderstanding regarding the piece of paper, even regarding the body. All our bodies are made of skin, flesh, bone, fat, then urine, fecal matter. This is the body. But we love this body so much, we can kill somebody even for one body. But the body is not the person. Body is just it is made of all the 5 elements and all these things. Then snayu, then brain is there, the hands, legs, all these things are. Person is not the hand. So many people are amputated, but they are not gone. They are there. Vasana is the misunderstanding regarding a person, and then with that wrong understanding, we try to enjoy people, like how we are enjoying objects. We also want to enjoy living people. So it leaves wrong impressions in our mind. So we go for that again and again and again and again till we suffer and die. So vasanas. Vasanas are wrong impressions which are created because of enjoying certain thing out of wrong understanding that it is the source of joy, it is the source of happiness. Vasanas are impressions. A impression out a kamu kare out a prism badiya. Prism rete amre tole surya kiran tar padchi. Satavale say surya kiran ta, it will be divided into 7 different colors. But this vasana works like a very complex prism, multifaceted prism, in which the light of the divine, when it passes through that, it gets divided into so many bodies, so many minds, so many intellects. It is dividing. There is no real division, but it looks like. When I wrote a science class, the science teacher explained diffraction. से प्रिज्म टाइप आने क्लास को आने के झरका पाखे रखिए झरकार सूर्य किरण आसे आ से प्रिज्म रे पल्ला परे 7टा डिफरेंट कलर सृष्टि हो से कांतेर जोटे चूर्ण लिपा है then children get excited. Oh, there are 7 different colors. Somebody tells that, oh, that is my color, this is my color, red is my color, somebody will tell blue is my color, somebody will tell that no, indigo is my color. In this manner, all the children, they will try to own some color. And if I am telling red is my color, somebody else will tell, no, red is my color. Then fight will be there. So class, it is just jagda starts. Everybody is interested in a particular color. Then the teacher, class 40-50 minutes, the teacher tells something nobody understands. At the end, teacher takes the prism, puts in the pocket and goes. And children all are sad. Sad for what? Because their colors are gone. The colors are not there actually. There are no colors. But children thought that yes, there is a color. They are able to see. But what was there before is the sunlight. Now also the same sunlight is there. But the vasanas, they create varieties. Now we are able to see, like some people are attending, 30, 40, 50, 40 people are attending. We see that so many people, actually nobody, it is just a screen. But look like so many people are there. They're moving their hands, they're talking, and some of them here. We cannot tell it is a screen. It is a screen. There is a screen. There's nobody here. Exactly in our mind screen, all these varieties are created because of the vasana, and we see those varieties and give reality. And that is different bodies, trees, mountains, insects, bird, animal, all kinds of bodies, all kinds of minds, all millions and trillions of bodies this prism can create. The vasana, which is a prism, it can create all this. But not really real creation, just like the creation of 7 different colors. There we are able to see them, we are able to perceive them, but actually they are not there. So all the bodies and all the minds, all the intellects, different people are there, just like in the screen we are seeing, but actually there nobody is here. Nobody here. Then what is happening? Once different bodies, different minds, and different intellects are created because of asana, from that one truth, there it doesn't end there. Then suddenly, this truth, this life principle, or this Om, the divine in us, as though it identifies with the body. And once it identifies with the body, identify means it comes in contact with the body. Light will always come in contact with an object. If the light is there, object is there, the contact between light and object is natural. It's called sahaja samparka. So it is, Paramatma is not trying to relate with the body. It is natural. Like light and object. If an object is there in front of the light, there will be a shadow. So the shadow of Om, Om creates a shadow because of the body, and that shadow is called the perceiver. When Om comes in contact with body, a shadow of the body is created, that is called the perceiver. Not perceiver, perceiver. Then when Om, this divine light, comes in contact with the mind, then the shadow of the mind that will be created is called as the feeler. And the Om, this divine light, when it comes in contact with the intellect, the shadow which will be created is called the thinker. So the perceiver, feeler, and thinker, which is who are called as PFT. That is BMI, this is called PFT. This PFT is the ego in us, is the ego. When you tell ego, is not ego, it is the ego. Like how email, like that ego. Ego means who will go away in the electronic speed is called ego. It is there, but if we do something, then this ego goes away. This PFT, the perceiver, feeler, thinker entity in us is called the ego. When we tell ego, means this perceiver, feeler, and thinker. This is not a problem. Ego is not a problem. But to tell that I am the ego is a big problem. I am that ego, I am that is a problem. But ego is a natural thing, because when light is there and objects are there in front of the light, shadows will be formed that nobody can stop. Egoism is really creating problem. Ego is not creating problem. Ego is the entity who uses the body, who uses the mind, who uses the intellect. The perceiver, the name of the ego is perceiver when it is using the body and trying to perceive different things like seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, tasting is done by the perceiver. Now I am speaking. Who is speaking? The perceiver in me is speaking using the mouth. And the perceiver in you is perceiving the sound by using the ear. So it is a function of the perceiver, not the feeler. But whatever we are telling, we feel that, feel good or bad, that feeler is using the mind to feel that. So when it comes to feeling, it is the ego's name at that time is called the feeler. When you are perceiving things, at that time the name of the ego is the perceiver. When you are thinking or trying to know or you have to plan, at that time the thinker is created. When identification with intellect, then thinker is created. The thinker uses the intellect to think. Think of what? Of thoughts. The feeler uses the mind to feel emotions. The perceiver uses the body to perceive objects. So this is going on all the time in us by the PFT. All the activities, whether it is seeing, whether it is hearing, whether it is smelling, whether it is tasting, is done by the perceiver, the ego in us. But when I tell, you told me something, I don't feel good. At that time, we are not talking regarding ourselves. We are talking regarding this feeler. But we think that we are that feeler. Then I tell, I feel this. But actually, we have this. But somehow, because of this vasana, we are telling ourselves as the feeler. But we are not the feeler. We are the knower of the feeler. Feeler is created because of us. We are not the feeler. I don't feel. But because of me, this feeler feels emotions. Because of me is this Om. Because of me, the perceiver perceives objects using different parts in the body, different sense organs in the body. The thinker thinks of thoughts by using the intellect because of me. The thinker cannot think without me. So when I tell I am thinking, at that time we do not know really who is that I. Is this I thinking or this I is thinking? Actually, this I cannot think, because from the standpoint of Om, there is nothing other than itself. If there is nothing other than how I can think, suppose at home only there is only one object. So many objects, one type. I cannot think of any other type of object because only one type is there. माने घरे जदि गोटे टाइप रो सीरियल अछि सकाळे मु तो केबे हेले भाबी परिबेनी अन्य प्रकार सीरियल पे केवल गोटे प्रकार सीरियल अछि. From the standpoint of Om, we cannot think of any other thing. If we have faith in God, then we cannot think of like my mother, my father, my brother, my sister, because God is everything. There is nothing other than God. So faith in God will always make the person to think regarding God, feel God, then see God, because God alone is. So from the standpoint of Om, really there are no varieties. But when we see through the lenses of the vasanas, then the varieties are seen. And these varieties are for our entertainment. It is not for, varieties are not real. Varieties are not real, they are not real. Varieties are for entertainment. If there are so many varieties that we will get fascinated. If we go to Yellowstone Park, when we see so many trees, so many different sceneries, then we feel happy. But if you think, give reality to the differences, then we'll have a lot of problems. And that is happening in case of us. This ego gets carried away by the differences. It doesn't know what is the reality. So our job is to, now we have fallen from our own real nature, that is Om, to this illusory nature called PFT. There are two I's are now created. One is this I, which is Om, which is the true I, absolute I, the real I. And there is an illusory I, the PFT, perceiver, feeler, thinker, which is we call as the ego. This PFT is called a small I, that is crooked eye. There are two hooks on both the sides, and this is straight eye, capital I. This PFT, which is the crooked eye, gets caught because it's got two hooks on both the sides. So with whatever it will come in contact, will always get attached. It will be hooked. We cannot remove that. Like a child. Do we really create a child? Can we create a child? But we tell it is my child. Then our entire life revolves around that child. My beta, my beta, my beta, my beta, my beta. Beta is telling, enough of this, my beta, leave me alone. But still will not leave. And then we will suffer. Because that hook, now whatever will come in contact will get hooked to it. Like the fish. If it is the hook, then it will get caught. One thing we are doing very well, we get attached to anything or any individual that we come in contact. And whenever we are attached, either there will be sorrow will be there or there will be joy will be there. Attachment expresses in two ways, sorrows and joys. This ego always is going up and down. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens and not. Now all of us are trying to get out of this nuisance. That I want to be stable. I don't want to just jump all the time up and down. Sometimes I'll be feeling really great, sometimes so depressed. Sometimes I am on the 7th heaven, next time I am in the 8th hell. I don't want to be like that. I want to be a stable person, normal person. But as long as we are considering ourselves as this experiencer in us, this is the ego experiencer, who is experiencing kama, krodha, lobha, mada, matsarya, this perceiver, it belongs to ego. It doesn't belong to us. It belongs to the ego. But we are always different from the ego. We are the knower of the ego. We cannot be the ego. We are the knower of the ego. We have fallen to this level of the PFT, but really we are Om. This is our home really. Om is our real home. Now we are in a different world which really doesn't belong to us. We are just a tourist. On this earth, the statement which is really so true, that we are really not the inhabitants of this earth, but we are Amar Dham ke Vasi hum sab. We are the inhabitants of a divine land, but we have come here to visit. But now we have forgotten that, and we are trying to own this earth. We cannot own. It is not ours. We don't belong here at all. We don't belong. Suppose you go to hotel and stay there for 1 month in that hotel, and then we'll tell that this table is mine, this room is mine. And then the hotel person will call 911 to evict us. Same thing is happening here. Here nobody is coming and forcing us to get out from here. We naturally will disappear from here. My land, my home, everything will go, because they don't belong to me. I'm just a visitor. And to tell that it's mine, it is like theft. So how I'll be free from that? Again, I have to come back here. The method by which we'll come back from our egocentric I to the real I is called spiritual practices. It can be done in 3 different ways, mainly 3 different ways. When we are using our body to do the spiritual practices, so that we can remove this factor means we can go around this factor called vasana and reach our true nature, is called karma yoga. So the karma yoga is done to the body. Other factors are there, but body is the main factor in karma yoga. Karma is the main thing to do karma yoga. By doing karma yoga, we can remove the impact of the vasana and reach our own state. Sometimes people are there, they are mentally they're very matured. In that case, we can use the mind. There is no need of doing karma yoga, but we can do the bhakti yoga to remove the vasanas and go reach Lord. When we use the mind to reach God, it is called bhakti yoga. When we use the body to reach God, it is called karma yoga. But when we use the intellect, that I want to know God. In the mind, we want to love God. In the body, we want to serve God. Whether it's service, whether it's loving, whether it's understanding, we can reach the same, our true nature. When we use the body to do karma yoga to reach Om, it is one way. When we use the mind and develop devotion for the Lord and reach Lord, that is another way. And when you use the intellect to understand God and reach Om, that is the God, which is our true nature, true I, that is called Jnana Yoga. So Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga, they are not 3 different paths, but they are 3 different names, because we are using 3 different instruments to reach the same destination. One can go to India by plane, one can go by a ship, or one can go by vehicle too. So that doesn't mean that India is 3 different Indias. It's only one India. But depending on the instrument we are using to reach there, so the methods are told as different. So Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, they are not 3 different methods, but there are 3 different ways to reach the same destination. So one should not create a division that, oh, I am Karma Yogi, I am practicing Bhakti Yoga, these people are practicing Jnana Yoga. No, they are the same thing. We are doing the same thing. Only in Karma Yoga, the body is predominantly used. Mind and intellect are there, but predominance is given to body. In the Bhakti Yoga, predominance is given to the mind. In the Jnana Yoga, the predominance is given to the intellect. In this way, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, actually everybody has to practice all the 3 together. One cannot separate Karma Yoga from Bhakti Yoga and from Jnana Yoga. They have to all go together, because that we have the body, mind and intellect. All the time these are to be used. So it is the combination of karma, bhakti and jnana that will really bring a new meaning to our life. And then we can lead a natural life, not a complex life, and then go to different monasteries, then read Upanishad, then do meditation. Life becomes so complicated. We have made spiritual so difficult. But it's not that difficult. It is a very simple, the natural way, I'm not saying simple, natural way of living is called spirituality. There are no complications, there is no need of getting angry and then go to attend seminars, anger management, and pay $300 to get rid of anger for 2 days. There's no need. But we have made ourselves, we have trained ourselves how to get angry and torture ourselves and others. We have devised different mechanisms to make ourselves suffer. And deliberately we are doing that, and that is no wise man will do anything to persecute oneself. But now through our lifestyle, through our thinking, through our actions, we are trying to inflict pain on ourselves, and which is not needed at all. And to overcome all these difficulties, spiritual life is needed. So this is in short some light on the spiritual practices, and it is very simple. One should not complicate God. God, like murtis will be made, temples are to be made, then swaha, different kind of chanting will be going on. Then we are practicing spirituality. It has nothing to do with all these things at all. It is simple understanding regarding who God is and who am I. What is my connection with God? So here we'll conclude the lecture. If you have anything to ask, you can ask. Let me, I hope, yes. Yes. If anybody has any questions, and it will be given to in the chat box, then Manoj Babu. But don't ask difficult questions.
धन्यवाद धन्यवाद स्वामी जी
हरि ओम Manoj Babu.
एते सुंदर भाबरे आपण स्वामी चिन्मयानंदकर PFT charts he explained, and especially what we think about ourselves and who really we are.
Yes.
It was so beautifully explained by you, Swamiji. Thank you so very much for that. And I definitely like the way you explained how human behavior, functions, in the sense of, the prism example of everything is natural. The light is natural, but just like the prism splits 7 rays, 7 different colors, and we start claiming this is mine, that is mine. Souls or vasanas are creating the impression in our mind, like this is good, this is bad, this is what I like, this is what I don't like.
Yeah.
That is such a beautiful metaphor, and I believe all our viewers will go home with that knowledge. And often there is another massive confusion which arises among many practitioners, like whether I should follow bhakti yoga or karma yoga or jnana yoga. We have also seen confusion. I mean, the arguments arising, okay, which one is better to follow, which one is the best of all. But like you very clearly said, Swamiji, all 3 of them have to be observed together for reaching the supreme Brahman Om. And we cannot say that I'm using my body, but I'm not using my mind or not using my intellect. I'm doing karma yoga, but I do not know what is bhakti yoga or jnana yoga. Same thing. I'm using my intellect, but I'm not using my body or mind. What a beautiful metaphor, Swamiji. Thank you so very much. Now, if you have any questions from the viewers, let me see, and we'll just try to ask them. Okay, it looks like we haven't seen any questions right now on the chat box. If anybody wants to ask a question, please unmute yourself, and you are welcome to ask Swamiji. we can possibly, I have at least one question in my mind, which I can, which I was always thinking I will ask, which is, mostly at the current time, this pandemic has affected this entire humankind so deeply. The problem here is, we think the pandemic came, we are so scared, and now the pandemic has ended and there is a war starting. So every time something or other is happening in the world, uh, which creates a shadow of fear and anxiety and uncertainty in the mind of people. So how can we really understand that anxieties are falsity, and the truth is to whatever is the truth? I believe if Swamiji can shed some light on this particular aspect of life.
Yes, fear is a very interesting thing, how we are creating fear. Fear we create, okay? Fear doesn't come from a tree or from a lion, no. Fear doesn't come from the lion. Fear comes from within us. We imagine. When you imagine, fear is created. We create like a horror movie kind of thing, okay? And at that time, we become the greatest creator of a movie in our home. And what kind of movie we create? Not comedy, not tragedy. We create only horror movies. And then we try to display that movie. Then who is seeing? Nobody else is interested in seeing that movie. I see that movie. I create and I see and make myself scared. Again, I will go on doing that again and again and again and again till I'm dropped dead. So fear is created because of thinking of something which is not there. In 1993, when it was I was posted here, then another person, his name is Uncle Mani, so both of us are staying here. Then he has to go back to India because he was a married person, elderly person, so he went back to his home in Mumbai. Then I have to stay alone, and it's a big property, and it is all forest all around. Then I have to stay inside. Then at night, I heard so much of sound. Actually, the sound is because the rats are, these field rats, they are running, and a lot of sound. I go, what? I couldn't sleep. I thought that the ghosts are there, thieves are there. There is no ghost. I am the only person here. I'm the only person. If the ghost is there, I am the ghost. But I was so scared. Then came to know that these are rats are there. So then next day from Home Depot, we put traps. Then they get caught. Every 5 minutes, one mouse will be trapped. Then what I will do? I cannot, because we are the Ganesh Bhaktas. And rat is the Bahan of Ganesh. Now we are in trouble. What shall I do? And that mouse is trapped there and looking towards us. We cannot, it is still alive. It was creating so much of conflict. I don't like these rats. And if they are killed also, I don't like. Then what shall I do? See, so much of confusion. We don't, whatever is scaring, we try to create that thought again and again and again and again and again and again. This will harm me, this is going to kill me, this can negatively build around that thought. Then it becomes an emotion. We manufacture an emotion from a thought by repeating it again and again. Thoughts are given by the nature, but emotions are created by us. If we can stop that, don't repeat that. Whatever is scaring, don't maintain that thought. Take God's name or something which is very powerful in your mind. Think regarding a person or best is the God. Then fear will go. Fear is created thing. Fear is not really there. Fear is created thing. There are two types of fear. One is called imaginary fear and one is called genuine fear. Imaginary fear, we are suffering from imaginary fear. We imagine what is going to happen. My son has gone, one lady, she will always be scared when her husband will go in India on the scooter to the office. Always she will think that he is going to make some accident. Few the people maintain that my better has gone. I don't know whether he will come back or not. It's some accident or something they hear. People create that fear psychosis within themselves. And then they spread that virus, they spread everywhere. No, don't repeat that thought. If thought is coming, any thought has come, which is like, let us say lion is in this area. Don't think of the lion and catching our neck and it's pouncing on upon us and then breaking the door. Don't elaborate. Don't make it, don't try to develop around that thought. It has come, get rid of that. Best is by doing japa. Once our mind is little made quiet, there will be no anger, there will be no lust, there will be no fear, there will be no jealousy. Those things, they cannot survive in the mind if mind is made quiet. Disturbed mind is a swampy area. In a swampy area, anything can grow. So when our mind is disturbed, we like to make our mind disturbed. So kama, krodha, those things are very important for us. Desire, lust, passion, they are very important for us. Without that, we are useless. Because our mind is disturbed, so these things we give importance to. But if the mind is made quiet, they cannot stay. They cannot survive. They cannot germinate. Because that is not the fertile ground for them. So fear is imaginary. And what we are afraid of, how many people this pandemic, do you think that people who are not talking to anybody? They are not eating food. They are not doing their crazy things. Everybody is doing everything. But they will tell all the blame will be to that virus. And just remain 6 feet away. We will hug each other. We will try to kiss each other. We will try to hold each other. Why can't we stay 6 feet away? Virus cannot do anything. Doctors, when they do surgery, they are putting a mask here. So that is, and we give, oh, he's a doctor, we give respect. Now all of us are doctors, kind of thing. Isn't it? We don't blame ourselves. That why I am to wear this mask. Then okay, spread disease. Very easy. We don't have to go to hospital. No oxygen is needed. Just 6 feet away and put a mask. That's all. What we will not do. Then we'll tell, okay, such big things are happening. And where people are talking to each other so much. Every day on the Zoom night, when the in-person classes were going on, we are having some classes. And on the Zoom, everyday classes are. So more work, more contact with people. But we create some kind of sin, how to justify our suffering. We try to create something, oh, this is the reason. But actually that is not true. That is not true.
Manoj, got a question, Pachari. Swamiji, namaskar from San Jose, California. So nice to see you. Apan sahe bahut din par dekha hoji. Apan am ghare satsang aramb kartile 96 basiyar Swami Chidananda ko sangere.
Yes, I remember very well.
More personal Swami Chidananda sir कहले आपण जो कहले जो कर्म योग ज्ञान योग ध्यान योग and bhakti yoga और Swami Vivekananda added the fourth one, dhyana yoga or raja yoga. But one comment he made, Swami Chidananda ji se कहले जदि खाली भक्ति ଆଉ कर्म रे आपण रहिबे, not going to ज्ञान योग से गोटे सीडी रे आपण कोठा ऊपर चढ़िबे 60-70% से दिटा को नै जबो आपण भक्ति ଆଉ कर्म किंतु ज्ञान दरकार to go to the top.
Yes.
A comment as I thought I will share that.
Yes. But it is, they're all natural. It is like a lift. If we go to the first floor, or the lift will take, we don't have to go to the lift will take us to the, only thing we have to step on the lift. Elevator will take us to the 10th floor.
Right.
Start karma yoga or start bhakti, wherever you start, it will automatically take to other yogas. There will be no problem at all.
मनोज मु एकम कोची मुडा क्वेश्चन पजे परिबे
आगे केते जणा आउ क्वेश्चन अछंती मु खाली
हरिओम
टिके अपेक्षा करंतु मु आपन कहबी टिके
ठीक अछि
आगे
ओके
आगे ठीक अछि हमर आउ जे आगोटे प्रश्न अछि हमर पचरसंती श्रीयुक्त प्रदीप करो why do we worship so many gods? Everyone in the West thinks that Hinduism is not monotheism.
I don't know. We worship many gods. We worship one God through different murtis. Through different murtis, like through different ways, we go to the same destination. So there are, depending on the mind, whatever path I like Ganesh's statue. I worship because God is everywhere. Some people, they don't use murtis, they worship their parents as God. There are not many gods we are worshipping, but we are taking many different paths to the same God. We are not worshipping many gods.
Thank you, Swami. Tikam Babu, आपनकर क्वेश्चन पचल कर
नमस्कार स्वामी जी मु साधन कैलिफोर्निया लॉस एंजलिस रो कहूची मो ना हला टिकम बेहरा मो बदे आपन को देखि नै केबे किंतु मोर क्वेश्चन हला जे normally what we do is we go to a science lab or engineering lab to do an experiment, right? So there is a process procedure there. Step 1, step 2, step 3. For example, I do not know anything about spirituality. I'm just a man, simple man. Is there a process in spirituality that a simple man can follow, chant Om or do some kind of yoga or meditation so that he can reach to his or her target? Meaning that I don't know about anything about Japo, for example, or meditation or yoga. So is there a scientific process, step-by-step process to reach there?
Yeah. Okay, first thing is, a simple person doesn't need any practice. He doesn't need any practice. But we have made ourselves a little complex and we think that is simple. Very simple because I'm eating always salad and wearing khadi and putting tilak, so I'm a simple person. We think that way. Actually, if one is really simple in thinking and in actions, then spirituality is natural because it's a natural thing. Like there are some students, they can understand mathematics very easily. So they don't have to go to tuition, but we need tuition because we don't pay attention. For us, yes, there is a process. But spirituality is not a process. It is not a process because it is a truth which is everywhere, which is different from us, and it's a process. Suppose I want to reach, go from place A to place B, then I need a method, I need a means, I need a direction because I'm going from one place to another place. But this is a journey from place A to place A. It is a journey from place A to place A. So it is, there's no process involved. It is just a question of understanding, removing the ignorance. But if I think that no, I need a process, then the process is also told. Depending on the demand, the supply will be as per the demand. Since we are very good in, we want processes. So there are so many processes that are given. But first thing is discipline your life. Then slowly we'll understand what is next step that is needed. Discipline life. Like we are getting up at whenever we want, we eat whatever we want to eat. And when we eat, then we eat so much. No. And then we fight with our own people, then create conflict in our own homes. So those things have to be taken care of. First, at home, love your own spouse. Don't fight with your own spouse. Guide your own children. Don't make them slaves. Don't make them dependent on you. These are simple things. And go to the work. Don't go to the work to do the work, not for money. But we go, I tell that, you know, I'm a scientist, but really our attention is on money. If money is not given, then the experiments are gone. I will not do. So this way we have made a very mess out of ourselves. So that part, our life should be made simple. Simple. Correct thinking and simple living. That will make us, that will keep us on the track.
Thank you, Swamiji. Very simplified way to understand what you said. Thank you very much. Pranam.
Hari Om.
धन्यवाद टीका अपेक्षा करंतु और जने भद्र व्यक्ति अछन डॉक्टर बसंत परिरा वांट टू आस्क अ क्वेश्चन
प्रणाम स्वामी जी आपण बहुत सिंपल वे रे बुझेले माने वी रियली गॉट एनलाइटेंड मु गोटे जस्ट मोर मन रे गोटे क्वेश्चन थिला आपण जदी के लाइट देबे लाइट थ्रो करबे सेथिरे आपणकर स्वामी चिन्मयानंद जो ओम रे जोटा का आपण बुझेले चार्ट टा इट्स वेरी सिंपल एंड रियली मेक्स गुड सेंस मु चाहूतली जे ओम टा को हमर जो नादबिंदु कहंती Oh, I'm sorry. Should I speak in English? Because
yes. English or Odia, everything is fine.
Okay. No, if there are Odia audience, that's okay. So, Swamiji, this Nada Brahma is supposed to be the starting point of the universe. Scientifically, we are saying that out of vibration came the energy, and out of energy comes the mass. So the universe started. So, in a way, Om sound is really what you say, that also doing the meditation, even Om meditation purifies the mind, and once mind is purified, then it's very easy to rise spiritually. In Taittiriya Upanishad, there is a mention about how the universe began. It said, Ekoham Bahusyam Prajayate. Prajayati. So, can you throw some light on exactly how really the universe really originated on the process?
Let us discuss regarding our own birth.
Okay.
From a unicellular organism, this multicellular organism is created. Okay.
Yes.
In the beginning, there are no hands and legs, and all those things are not there. But slowly, from that one thing, everything has come. Like from one seed, the trunk has come, the leaves have come, the branches have come, the flowers have come, the fruits have come. So all of us have come from one source. We have not come from many sources. From many, one person cannot be created. From one, many people can be created. From one dough, we can make more rotis.
Right.
So all of us have come from one. That's why if we read how our body is created, the Panchakosha Viveka, that portion if we read, then how all of us are made the same way. There is no difference at all. Like we take Play-Doh and make a different kind of structures. Same way, we are all different structures, but materially we are all same. It is told, Panchikuta Panchamahavatehi Krudam. In the Tattvodha, how our bodies are created. All our bodies, we tell it is a man, he's a woman, he's beautiful, he's ugly, he's tall, he's dwarf. But all our bodies are made of the same 5 elements. Nobody is different at all, even materially. So we have come from one, but we tell, okay, he's a beautiful person, he's a lady, he's a man. We create that kind of thing. We find something how to differentiate one from the other one. But we don't find that what is the common. Only one thing is there. All of us are made of 5 elements, physically or mentally. So from the spiritual standpoint, varieties are not talked about. Only one is there. But from the body, there are varieties we see. But all the varieties come from the same 5 elements. We are not different at all. A rich man will go to the same earth at the end, and a poor man a beggar also will go to the same earth. In the cremation ground, there is no fight at all. Nobody is telling you, I'm a rich person, I will stay there, and a poor person. No, both will be same cremation. There is no fight at all. They live very happily. That's why Lord Shiva has selected that place as the best place. He doesn't sit in Chicago or California. He says, because there's no fight there. Here we fight. No, the differences are only mental. It is, we are all made of the same elements.
Okay, Swamiji. Thank you.
I'll just take one question from the chat before we open the voice question to audience. So one question comes about, kindly explain the last three points in the chat.
Mandav, here somebody is asking, the Saraswati, he is asking. Actually,
Hariam.
Hariam
Kake. I tried to say Swamiji, but Asuni Aji Paranta Pakiru. I'm so happy to see you now.
Thank you. She's talking from Raurkela. Okay.
Oh.
Actually, I am going through a lot of mood swing nowadays. You know, I get up early in the morning, I do a lot of chanting. I'm very regular to my work, all these things. Still, I go through a lot of mood swing. Why it happens?
Yeah.
I'm not crying because of that. I am crying to see you.
I'm very happy
just...
that we are 8 brothers, and she is the daughter of my 3rd brother. And she is a teacher in our mission school, Chinmay Mission School. She's a very good teacher. She is doing really well there, and we are very happy. She dedicates herself, and I didn't expect that she will be there, but she is here. Okay.
Nana, sir. Nana. Mera papi.
Brother, 3rd brother. Carry on. Okay. So ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ mood swing ହଉଛି, actually swing is a very nice thing. We sit on a swing and go back and forth. Isn't it very enjoyable? ମାନେ ଆମେ ତ କାମରୁ ସାରିଲା ପରେ ଆମେ we don't want to sit on a chair. କାରଣ ଅଫିସରେ ସବୁବେଳେ ବସିଛେ ଗୋଟେ ଜାଗାରେ, କିନ୍ତୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଦୋଳିରେ ବସିଛେ ସେଟା ଆମର କଣ ସେଟା ରଜ ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣିମା, very interesting. We go far and wide, back and forth. In the mind also, that is the best way of, that is mental swing. It is a physical swing, that is mental swing. So, but nothing is happening to, we are in the same place, but the swing is taking us up and down, and that is enjoyable. So enjoy that. Don't get caught in that one. Otherwise, ମାନେ ସେ କଣ କି ସେ ମୁଣ୍ଡଟା ଯଦି ଜଣେ କହୁଛି ହଉ ମୁଁ ଏଠି ଉପରକୁ ଯାଉଛି, ସେ ପୁଣି ପଛକୁ ଯାଉଛି, ତାପରେ ହବ ମୁଣ୍ଡ କଣ ସେଟା ଘୁରେଇବ, ମୁଣ୍ଡ ଘୁରେଇବ. Into actually we are in the same, we are not going anywhere. Just enjoy, because we are not that emotion which is going up and down. We are the knower of that one. No. ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାର ଇମୋସନାଲ ସ୍ୱିଙ୍ଗ ସବୁ ଆସୁଛି, ମୁଡ୍ ସବୁ ଆସୁଛି, ଯଦି ଜଣେ ଜପ କରୁଛି, ହୋଲ୍ଡ ଅନ୍ ଟୁ ୱାନ୍ ଥିଙ୍ଗ. ଇଫ୍ ଆର୍ ହୋଲ୍ଡ ନା ବସ୍ରେ ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଯାଉଛେ, ବାଣୀ ବିହାର ବସ୍ ମୁଁ କହୁନି, ବାଣୀ ବିହାର ବସ୍ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସବୁ ସମସ୍ତେ nobody likes to sit on the seat. So boys and girls ସବୁ ଠିଆ ହେବେ, କାରଣ ଜାଗା ନାହିଁ, ଠିଆ ହେବେ, and ସେ ବସ୍ ଟାକୁ ସେ ତାକୁ ହଲେଇବ. People feel happy, isn't it? ଆମର ବସ୍ରେ ଥିବା capacity ଥିବ 65 ନେବେ, 120 ଲୋକଙ୍କୁ ନେବେ. Then the driver will take and stop. Suddenly the space will be there. Again people will come. This swing is really, but if you are holding to the upper bar, যেটা আছে বস উপরে, ତେବେ ଆମର କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ନାହିଁ, ଆମେ ପଡ଼ିବାନି, ଆଗକୁ ପଡ଼ିବାନି କିମ୍ବା ପଛକୁ ପଡ଼ିବାନି. ସେଥିପାଇଁ hold on to something which is permanent. ସବୁବେଳେ relate with, like ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ମୁଁ ହଉଛି ଏଇ ମାଙ୍କର ଝିଅ କିମ୍ବା ଏଇ ମାଙ୍କର ପୁଅ, ଏଙ୍କର ଭାଇ, ଏଙ୍କର ଭଉଣୀ, ଏମିତି କହୁଛେ, ଆମେ ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି କାହାର ନୁହେଁ, ଆମେ ହଉଛେ ସମସ୍ତେ ଭଗବାନଙ୍କର. ଭଗବାନଙ୍କ ହିସାବରେ ଆମେ ସବୁ ଭାଇ ଭଉଣୀ ନୁହଁ କି ଗୋଟେ ମାଠୁ ଜନ୍ମ ହେଇଛେ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଆମେ ଭାଇ ଭଉଣୀ ନୁହଁ. So hold on to one entity. Then let the leg swing, let move here, move from here and there. It doesn't matter. It will be enjoyment. ଆମେ ଚେୟାରରେ ବସିଛେ, ଆମକୁ ଗୋଡ଼କୁ ହଲଉଛେ, it's not a creating problem. In the same way, in the emotional level, ଆମର ମধ্যେ ଯେ swing ହଉଛି, এটা କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ନାହିଁ. Don't give any importance to that. Give importance to because of whom we are able to know. That is more important than the emotional swing. ସେଇଟା ବହୁତ, it is very enjoyable. କାମ ଆସୁଛି, କାମ ଯିବ, କ୍ରୋଧ ଆସିବ, କ୍ରୋଧ ଯିବ, ଏଗୁଡ଼ାକ କିଛି, it cannot touch us. Now also it doesn't touch, though we tell that it affects me, actually it doesn't affect us at all. It doesn't affect us at all because we are different from it. But we have to give importance to ourselves. Then all these emotions are very enjoyable. Lisa, thank you so much for asking this question. Hari Om.
Swamiji, Satyabhamuka ji question thila, kindly explain the last 3 in the chart again.
Yes.
So if Pramod, if you share the chart one more time, please. Yes, the object, emotion and thought, the last 3.
Question, what is object, emotions and thoughts?
The last 3 lines. So the question is,
okay.
Explain the last 3 in the chart again. Last 3.
The O stands for objects, E stands for emotions, and T stands for thoughts. What happens when I consider myself as the perceiver? At that time, I want only objects. because I'm identifying with the body. Body is material in nature. So I need everything in terms of material things. Love means if somebody tells I love you, I don't understand. If somebody gives a rose flower, yes, I understand. Somebody tells I want to, I'm always with you to help you. That doesn't make any sense. Somebody has to give you money, somebody has to give you food or clothing. Then I understand. Because as the perceiver, always I will understand sorrow, joy, success, failure, everything, relationship, everything in terms of the object only. Relationship means like people get married just to get a cycle and a radio, and of course now it is changed. Some material things. For them, relationship is material thing. Marriage, what you need from your wife, she has to cook. She has to give me something material. And what wife thinks, he has to bring money or he has to bring things from the outside. So as a perceiver, always want objects. Buy one, get one free. More objects we are getting, we'll feel that, oh, we are doing really well. Like if our children, when they buy a car and all and purchase a house, we feel, oh, they are doing very well. From such a young age, he has already purchased 3 houses. But how many houses one can stay? How many houses one can stay? But perceiver will always want objects because it is identifying the body. Body, the more we identify the body, the more objects we need. Okay? Some people, they are not identify the body, but that emotional needs are a lot. They think themselves as the feeler. So they want emotions. Somebody has to tell them, I love you, you are so pretty, you are so kind, they always want that. They don't want jewelry or cloth or food, but they want more emotional food, that emotions. And the emotions are thoughts multiplied becomes emotions. When we develop around a thought, we repeat that thought again and again and again and again, then it becomes emotions. So we are the creator of emotions, but not the creator of thoughts. We are the knower of thoughts or recognizer of thoughts, but we are the creator of emotions. But we are not creator of thoughts. We cannot create a thought. Otherwise, thoughts would have been sold in the market. What kind of thought you want? Happy thought. Then take how much? 1 kilo. Nobody can sell. But emotions we create within ourselves, not outside, within ourselves, and then get caught in those emotions. So as a feeler needs emotions. A thinker needs thoughts. It will have mind thinking is correct. Nobody else knows how to think. I am right. I become the Mr. Right. So that is a problem. This perceiver, feeler, and thinker, they always depend on their existence and their happiness on objects, emotions, and thoughts. But they don't give importance to their own existence. They give importance to their existence only when they can get something from outside. And that way we get distracted. We get distracted from ourselves. So we cannot stay with ourselves. We have to stay always either with objects or emotions or with thoughts. That is a great danger, great problem we create for ourselves. Perceiver, feeler, and thinker. And by doing meditation, we can overcome vasanas and reach our true nature, then problem is solved.
Dhanyavad, Swamiji. There is one more question from Gyana Das. Gyana, why don't you ask your question to Swamiji?
Yes.
Gyana Das, please.
Yep. Thank you, Swamiji. Namaste.
I
think nice way. आपण बहुत बढ़िया बातरे बुझेले how Vasana drills down into our egos. In summary, if you can explain a little how Vasana basically creates ego in our mind.
No, Vasana doesn't create ego. Vasana creates ego. Yes, exactly. Vasana means the wrong impressions. The real meaning of Vasana in simple terms, wrong impressions. माने हमें तो उल्टे कामों करते कर्मटा वो फल क्रिएट करियो. Every action creates a result. That is called a karma phala. We do karma to enjoy the karma phala. A karma phala किसी समय पर शेष हो एंजॉयमेंट आम कर then it leaves impressions. Those impressions are called vasanas. And the impression that that object is the source of happiness, that is a wrong impression, and that is called vasana. And that vasana, because of the vasana, this our needs have become different. The world appears to be different. Everything is depending on the vasana. Vasana is like a prism. It is dividing, creating all kinds of division. Give importance to always one. Then sukha, dukkha, everything God is giving. Then our attention to one, not diversified. पुओ मोर दुख दौचे झील दुख करुचे मोर सांग दुख दौरान no, we have created manufacturing sorrow. Nobody is creating sorrow. Then it is focused. Then I can deal in one place. If 100 people are giving me problem, I cannot deal with 100 people. Make it simple. Make it simple.
Dhanyavad, Swamiji. Anybody else has a question? We are almost coming to the end of our session. Maybe we can take one more question from the audience.
Again,
Pacharan.
I'm coach Swamiji Pranam. खाली गोटे क्लारिटी पे पचारछि जेतेबेले भगवत गीता रे श्री कृष्ण कहले अर्जुन को लोकस्मिन् द्विविधा निष्ठा पुरा प्रोक्ता मयाना ते कहले there are only two paths ज्ञान योग and कर्म योग there is no third path यदि भक्ति योग कहले हम कहउचंती हम करचंती भी भक्ति means it is कायिक वाचिक और मानसिक कर्म. So that is karma is included. This bhakti yoga is included in the karma yoga. There is nothing separate like bhakti yoga. And suppose you ask me to do bhakti, prayer, puja, ritual, chanting, meditation. All these things are karmas only. So all these karmas becomes part of the karma yoga. So then even Raja Yoga, Vivekananda Kohale, that is also not there. Where is the question? Because that falls within these two, Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga only. There is no third yoga at all as per that Lord Krishna and Bhagavad Gita. It could get clarified for them so much.
Doesn't pacharyo kette prakar Indians achanti. Kaun am kaheva? There are somebody will North Indian, South Indian. These are two. There is no Odisha. In which category it will be? North India, South India. This is the way. North India, South India, this is the way it is. India is divided, not South. That's all. Karma yoga, bhakti yoga. But everything, jnana yoga and karma yoga. Everything is do something related to Lord. Don't create a division, jnana yoga and bhakti yoga. Remember Lord, try to understand Lord, serve Lord. Whether it is coming the Raja yoga, whether it is coming the jnana yoga, we should not be. These are more for intellectual discussions. Okay. Then we will tell what one want to let people come and tell that Swamiji, I want to do the japa. What kind of mala I will use? If somebody is asking this question, that person is not interested in doing japa at all. Not interested in doing japa. He is just asking a question because he is there and somebody is there, so we want to talk. There's some kind of gossip kind of thing. Okay. We should not go into, I'm not telling that if you want to do the preaching work, if somebody wants to do the preaching work, somebody wants to teach somebody, then yes, these things are very useful. But in life, if you are trying to practice something, then one should not get carried away by these words, because at the end they have the same meaning. Somehow to find some connection with our higher nature. That is important. Not like bhajan means we are telling as a bhakti yoga. Bhajan is not jnana, bhajan is not seva. Everything is included in that. Relate with God. It doesn't matter how, yena kena prakarena. It doesn't matter. But if you want to teach, like as a professor, yes. Now I am teaching karma yoga. Oh, okay, the karma yoga professor. Then it is different. But in my opinion, this is a different discussion, but really they are all same.
Dhanyawad Swamiji. Thanks for clarifying. Okay, with this, we have come to the end of our spiritual webinar. Thank you everybody for joining. And before I end the seminar, I have a very small request to the audience. ଆମର ଗୋଟେ ପରମ୍ପରା ରହିଛି ଯେ ଗୁରୁମାନଙ୍କ ନିକଟରୁ ଜ୍ଞାନ ଆହରଣ କରିବା ସହ ଆମେ ମାନେ ନିଜ ସମକ୍ଷ ଅନୁଯାୟୀ କିଛି ଗୁରୁ ଦକ୍ଷିଣା ଗୁରୁଙ୍କ ଚରଣ କମଳରେ ଅର୍ପଣ କରିବା ବାଞ୍ଛନୀୟ। ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଆମେ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଅନୁରୋଧ କରିବୁ ଯେ ଯଦି ଆପଣମାନେ କିଛି ଗୁରୁ ଦକ୍ଷିଣା ଦବାକୁ ଚାହାନ୍ତି ଏଇ ୱେବିନାର ପାଇଁ, ଯୋଉଟା କି ଆମେ ଚିକାଗୋ ଚିନ୍ମୟ ମିଶନ ପାଖରେ ଜମା କରିବୁ। ଓସା ଟ୍ରେଜରର କି ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଦାନର ରାଶି ଜମା କରିବେ, ତେବେ ଆପଣ ଦୟାକରି ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ସହିତ ସେୟାର କରିଛି ଅବିକା ଆପଣ ଜେଲି ମାଧ୍ୟମରେ ଇଲେକ୍ଟ୍ରୋନିକ ପେମେଣ୍ଟ ମାଧ୍ୟମରେ ଓସା ସ୍ପିରିଚୁଆଲ ଫୋରମ @odisasociety.org ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଦାନ ପଠାନ୍ତୁ। Contributions for this webinar will be collected until April 2nd. 1 week will accept your donations. Your name, email, and amount will be given to the OSA treasurer. OSA treasurer will send the proceeds to Chinmay Mission Chicago Badli. You must send your email address in the memo section to get a receipt, which will be delivered to you electronically. OSA treasurer will send the 501c3 tax deductible receipts to you by email. So you must know your email. So ଏତିକି କହି ମୁଁ ମୋର ବକ୍ତବ୍ୟ ଶେଷ କରୁଛି। ଆଉ ଆମ OSA ର ସେକ୍ରେଟାରୀ ଶ୍ରୀଯୁକ୍ତ ପ୍ରବନ୍ଧ ମହାପାତ୍ରଙ୍କୁ ମୁଁ ଅନୁରୋଧ କରିବି, let him propose a vote of thanks before we end this webinar. ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ।
Namaskar and good morning, everybody. I feel honored to have a chance to deliver the vote of thanks on this occasion. On behalf of entire OSA family, I would like to thank respected Swamiji. We are thankful to him for explaining the complex Vedantic teachings in a very simplistic manner. I thank the organizing team for spending many hours, volunteer hours, planning such event that benefits all our members. My special thanks to our President Mr. Gyana Patnaik for conceiving this idea to have spiritual seminar in a regular basis. We are all busy with our work, family, life, kids, school, etc., and seldom spend any time for our spiritual growth. I'm sure everybody will agree with me, spiritual seminar like this will be beneficial for our community. I must not forget to thank all the members who joined today's seminar. I request everybody to spread about these invaluable seminars happening on the second Saturday of every odd month and help families and friends to grow spiritually. Finally, I want to thank Swamiji, our organizer, Manoj Bhai, and spiritual team. Thank you again for making this a successful event. I will end with the Guru Mantra. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guru Varma. Thank you all.
May Lord bless all.
Thank you so much.
Hari Om.
Okay. Hari Om.